We need new games.
I know, we're kind of in a rut. I'll get set up and get Ken and Lynch coming in pretty soon or something.
Yeah, we should pick up Grand Theft. We should install Grand Theft Auto for next week too.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
You can just cruise
Let me know
around in
that
the car
ahead
for a
of time
while.
because I clear everything else out in order to do that. But yeah, I'm trying to download Deadlight too since it's free right now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
How long is it free?
to the 30th.
Oh, okay. You were trying that and seeing what it looks like.
Yeah, I think so. We get to review and have it on the site.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I think it's probably going to be pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Most people said, right?
Yeah, I think most people did not like it. That's why we don't have it.
Is that just the Xbox Gold promotion right now?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay.
We're still catching up on PlayStation. They're not quite there. PlayStation has almost talked me into it with the games they're offering. They're not quite, but just about.
What are they offering now?
Well, they had Brothers, they have Bioshock Infinite, and Arkham Asylum.
That's kind of cool.
No, I'm sorry, Arkham City.
That's a lot for free.
Yeah, for free, yeah. And I'd like to play Bioshock again, so it'd be fun to have that. Alright, let's get started whenever you're ready.
Yeah. So, what happened this week? Anything worth talking about?
Well, I think the big thing was, in terms of TV, was Game of Thrones.
What'd you think?
Well, I was excited to see it. I was shocked by how fast it came. I really thought they'd hold that out for the fourth or fifth episode. I was really pleased that they threw that in so quickly.
Yeah, for a second episode of the season, right?
Yeah. They were like, we're just going to get right into this.
That's a bold choice. That seemed like almost a season finale type idea.
Yeah, and my only nervousness now is that are they going to keep Tyrion in prison until the end of the season now? Is he out of commission? Or
Go ahead.
Okay?
Yeah, I threw a grenade and bounced off a shield right back into my face again. It was totally ridiculous.
You survived, though.
I did.
Like
a boss.
So I thought it was really well done. The whole scene was really well done. I didn't think it was going that way at all at that point. And I don't really keep up with the books, so I know kind of what happens in the books just from Wikipedia, but...
Dude, are you reading ahead?
Reading ahead? No, I don't think that's fair, but I am glancing at the Wikipedia entries ahead. So when the book deviates from the show deviates from the book, I won't know what's going on. Well, what's all these grenades coming from?
Wow, did you bring the... Oh, wow, he's got grenades.
He's got grenades, yeah.
I really want that gun.
But it was great, and I'm hoping again. I don't want to see Peter Dinklage go anywhere, but he stay front and center this whole season. He's just great. But,
Yeah.
Good.
No, I was going to say, kind of what you already said. I was blown away. It was the second episode of the season. They already went with that. I had no idea. I'm not reading ahead at all, even Wikipedia. I don't read anything. So I was blown away by just how quickly it came. And I think it's fascinating for me as somebody who doesn't watch the show, again, that he's good at just changing your expectations. We gotten to know Joffrey as being a jerk and kind of got used to him and being there. And now he's gone.
Yeah.
It's kind of a void that has to be filled. It's... Even though it's a bad one, it still has room for the story to grow in different ways, which is kind of cool. But every time a character, you start to get used to a character being there, it kills them all, even bad ones.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like the reverse of when Ned Stark got killed. Jesus Christ, he killed himself.
I think he's after you.
He really was. He was coming right at me.
Yeah, it was the opposite of just having the second episode.
Yeah, and it just came on strong. It was terrific.
I was disappointed that Kotaku was spoiling that. I mentioned that on our Twitter feed. Kotaku had 2 articles in a row where they're spoiling. So they posted an article on Kotaku about who poisoned Joffrey.
Oh.
And they showed it. They showed how the scene was played out, and you can see it if you watch the show. I'm not going to say it here, but you can see it if you want to. Kotaku put an article out about that. And I expect to see that on a Latino Review or maybe IO9 or something, but not on a game site. It was weird for them to even highlight that as part of as an article.
Oh, yeah, I hear you, but I do the same thing. I backed up and went through the scene again until I figured out what had happened. I don't know why. I kind of wanted to know also.
Yeah, I think Kotaku labeled it even the detail you may have missed from the show. And I was like, that was vague enough for you to check on it. So I was kind of mad about that.
That's different, yeah. Warning you about the spoilers and things, but you're right. That's not really what they do. It's kind of a surprising thing they do is to give away, the really detailed information about the show.
Well, and the stuff's used as threat, right? The teacher is punishing his students by revealing spoilers that they act up in class, and So it's dangerous stuff, and so I didn't like that they posted stuff just so cavalier.
Oh,
Anyways,
that's interesting. It's funny how I feel like True Detective did a lot of this too, right? You watch the episode again to find all the details and stuff. What was the thing of True Detective?
but they talked to the lawnmower guy earlier.
Maybe I thought there was something else too, where it's like, oh, watch it again so you get to all the details. But
I watched the 6-minute continuous sequence twice.
oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. There was something else, but I can't remember what it was. But no, I like this idea of encouraging repeat viewings by sticking little details in various places.
Yeah.
And again, it's a great episode. It shows that they're still, they're not going to hold back. Wait until the end of the season or try to drag out what they have. From what's the guy's name? Martin.
George R. R. Martin, yeah.
George R. R. Martin, yeah. Which is comforting because if they're going to try and drag this out for several more seasons, I remember reading something he'd said where he has these books about their like prequels and they could always use that. And it's like, okay, if Tyrion's not in it, I really don't want to watch it. So it's like I don't really care about the history of the Starks or whatever, right? I really just like watching Tyrion. So if he's not in it, then I'm kind of good.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't want to get too comfortable with him because I don't want him to kill him off. And I worry that could happen at some point. I've not read spoilers. I don't know, but if that happens, it's gonna be hard to keep watching the show.
I agree. As much as it is a ensemble cast and everything, he's the one I'm most interested in what happens to.
Yeah, he's the most relatable. I think that's by design.
Yeah, that's right. And he's great in that show. I loved the scene where they reenacted the Battle of the Five Kings. That was so cool. His reaction to just how horribly wrong it was. Just really, really well done. Great show, and that scene was great. And I guess HBO's got a really good night right now. I really, love watching Game of Thrones, and then Veep is really funny too. And the show's all right.
I like Silicon Valley all right. Yeah, I respond to that kind of stuff. I actually found the Pied Piper GitHub software repository today. I just checked for it to see if it was there, and there's a guy who actually put one on there. So there's actually he actually labeled it like this is a secret algorithm for compression technologies, and it actually it exists. It's fictitious code, but it's cool that the show actually has kind of a third wall they're breaking a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. It seems like a no-brainer for them. Yeah, that they would have something like that out there.
But yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, it's a feel-good show. I don't want to turn into Entourage, which just becomes mindlessly stupid. But right now it's all right, and I like Mike Judge's sense of humor.
Yeah, me too. And I look forward to seeing what else he has to say about Silicon Valley life. That initial sequence where they're at the Kid Rock concert was nothing appreciated. That was just exactly right.
My friend Kid Rock, it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good show. Veep is really funny. If you guys aren't watching Veep, you gotta.
We're not.
Check it out.
We probably should check it out.
It's really dark funny, but it's really good.
I mean, is that something I need to start from the beginning, or I catch up now?
Nah, I just put it on. Okay, so the second thing we were talking about was your thing on
the Steam thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that this whole data mining exercise that ArsTechnica is doing right now with Steam, and it's a smart thing to do, and I'm surprised no one's done it before, and I'm sure that the Steam data is made available to certain publishers who perhaps, I mean, Steam may sell that as a product now, the analytics from their service, which would be smart. But a lot of these services like Amazon or eBay don't normally reveal sales figures, and so Steam, normally has figures they put on their website, just publicly available figures, but it's not a complete data set, it's just partial data, and ArsTechnica has put together a lot of different partial data sets to create a picture, essentially, of most demanded or most downloaded games, which is one of the first sources I know of that actually would be for viral or digital demand of games that's made available publicly. And that's cool to see. I think one of the things that, ArsTechnica is going to be bleeding this thing dry for a while, so they're keeping their cards close to the vest in the full data set. They're gonna create a few different articles about it, and it's great. I'm happy to see how they crunch the data in different ways. But for us, I took the time just to look at what they've already published compared to when the games came out, because it's important to know. Like, it's great to see that Lost Coast has 6 million downloads, but Lost Coast came out so long ago, it almost is irrelevant now. And so, versus a title like Loadout, which is relatively new, and I've never tried it, but Loadout has been out for 3 months and has 2.5 million, so on paper, Loadout is not as popular as Lost Coast, but the reality is it's been out for a fraction of the time, and it's already much more downloaded many more times in that amount of time. So it just took an analysis of kind of what's the most popular based on how long it's been out and the number of downloads it has. and flipped it that way and looked at that data. And it's interesting. When the article will go up in a little bit, and it'll be up before Play Fridays though, so it'll be up before anybody's watching this. It'll be up on our site. But it's interesting to look at that and see what does that say about us as gamers? Like what are gamers buying more frequently? And I think that developers who are struggling to make money and kind of figure out their business models as their foundation of distribution starts to evolve, they may see the same thing and read the same kind of signs in the tea leaves that I am. And that there are certain types of games that are obviously more popular and more in demand than other types. And it's hard to deliver Elder Scrolls every single time. And so if you're going to be competitive, what do you have to do? And what the kind of the trends that we're seeing, obviously. The easiest one is free to play. What's up?
I got killed. I shot me from a distance.
Yeah, the easiest one's free to play, and those things do really well. And the top 10 most popular games are free to play. 6 of them, and so the majority of them are free to play, and that makes sense. If you have Steam and you don't want to buy anything, it's easy to pick up Warhammer or Team Fortress 2 and just go to town and have a good time. The next 3 on the list were games I'm calling kind of the grassroots experience type games. These are games that you get early access to play. You pay for that early access. You're not getting it for free, but you're part of this experience now. You're part of this community of gamers that are trying this thing out, trying to figure out how this thing should work, and giving feedback the entire time. Like it is an experience for you too. And it may not be a really established or a pristine one. It may not be that polished. It could be kind of a shoddy game, could have problems, glitches, bugs, whatever. But that's okay. You're okay with this kind of this for what it is. And that's interesting to me. And there are 3 examples of those that I need to check out pretty soon. But it's just cool to see that those are doing so well. And it's oh wow. I don't know what I just did, but I think I won.
You did, yeah.
Anyway, so that's on there, and the number 10 is just Counter-Strike, and it's hard to compete with Counter-Strike. I mean, I played the game so long back in the day, and it's still around. It's going to be around forever. For whatever it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, when I've traveled and stuff, the countries in the internet cafes and stuff, Counter-Strike's is all you see everywhere.
Oh yeah.
It was back in the day, so that's enormously popular everywhere.
Yeah, it's never going to go away, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's interesting, and I think it may be reflective of what kind of games we'll get in the future. We'll get more of these, open, transparent, almost Kickstarter-like approach to games, where you can join in and fund it and play it immediately and be part of this thing, and that's just what we're used to. It may not be a game that has a strong narrative. It may not have a story. It may just be like a Minecraft-type experience, but we're okay with that. We like to spend hours and hours doing these kinds of things.
I understand what you're saying. I just think I have trouble squaring that with is, but then like Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out and sells like $800 million in a day, right? Or whatever these crazy amounts are. Just insane high sales for AAA titles.
It's not on the list though.
Yeah, well, yeah, from there, but that must be being purchased from other places then, right?
Yeah, you're probably right, but I have to question what it costs to produce that game too. Like, how much did they make back on their investment from that? And you can't keep making Grand Theft Autos to be profitable. It's hard. Rockstar is like the only company that can kind of do that thing right now.
Yeah, well, since the companies are seeming to go more low key. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Everybody else is shutting down, and it's going smaller, going more independent. But I don't know. It's interesting.
But I think you'll still see AAA titles that are just guaranteed hits. Call of Duty, kind of Modern Warfare stuff, and football and basketball kind of games also. But you're probably right that maybe like The Last of Us that may be over with, or games like that are great, but also high cost, high investment kind of titles.
Yeah, and you sort of think about the creative developers. I mean, they're not going to want to go after the big publishers. They're going to want to create their own garage-based game and do their kind of create the next Starbound, and that's where people are going. That's where the talent is going to go by and large. I mean, there's a lot of money in big games if you do it right, but it's hard to do it right, and only a few companies do. And the data seems to show that gamers are responding to that.
Yeah, and you can make probably about as much money if you just make a game that's pretty good, but it doesn't cost very much to buy, and more people will buy it.
Yeah,
you're going to see a lot of games. I guess a good hook, but not really like a really great game all the way around.
Yeah, I'm curious how much the guy Mahjong's made on Minecraft. Like, the game was free for so long, but he sells products for it now, and you can buy retail versions of it now. And I mean, he's had to make a ton of money from it now.
Yeah, I think he had a really smart. I don't know if he deliberately did this, but I think if you offer it on PC for free and let it build up an audience, then people like us think it's cool. Then we buy it on the Xbox 360, and then It just kind of spreads from there.
Yeah, you build a community that way, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Word of mouth. So it's a safe investment. We decided to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of dark, but I don't think that was deliberate. But that model seems to work.
Yeah. But I'm arguing this is where, I mean, it's just more proof to what's happening to gaming in the future. Like, we'll get less, huge quality games. And this may be why there's a drought of next-gen titles really encouraging us to buy the new consoles still.
Man, that's exactly right. Yeah, there's not going to be, because all the emphasis right now is on lower-level games. They can play on any platform.
Yeah.
You don't need an Xbox One to play. You don't need a PlayStation 4 to play.
I mean, they put Titanfall on the Xbox 360. I mean, you don't need even the big titles still work on the previous console still.
Yeah. But it's not just that. It's like there's no. I can't think of a game where I've been like, I need better graphics in this. It's not that. We just like fun experiences.
Yeah.
So I'd rather pay $10 for 6 fun games than $60 in a game I kind of like. Grand Theft Auto. But
hey, it's a good game.
I guess.
You got to give it a shot someday, man.
I think I spent more time in this conversation than I have in that game. Yeah.
Just get the first heist is the best part of that game, I'll admit. But after that, it's okay.
Well, they're talking about cooperative heists coming up, right? That could be good.
What is that?
They're talking about cooperative heists coming up for download, so that could turn it around for me.
That'd be fantastic if they do. They've been talking about that forever, I thought, though, since it came out.
Right? Maybe I just most recently talked about
just saying it'd be a smart idea. They're not really promising anything.
What we'd like to see are cooperative heists.
Wouldn't that be great? I think people would really like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I agree. I think that all the emphasis right now is on these lower level games that are more personal, but also can be just beautiful and great, like Gone Home and everything last year.
Yeah.
So if they're also enormously profitable, then it's hard to resist that.
Yeah. God, Gone Home. I could play through that again.
I really could too. It's like just give me a couple hours if I'm sitting around and I can't really think of anything to play, and there I go.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, in contrast to some of the games I've been playing recently that I'll mention later, but like Doki Doki Universe and Splinter Cell, where I just don't really give a shit about finishing it. It's like I get about 3/4 of the way through, and it's like, all right, just keep going. It's like, it doesn't to be a jerk, but yeah, something about the gameplay just doesn't really hold me in. I just kind of lose interest after a while.
Yeah, when it becomes a grind, right? It starts to wear you out.
Yeah, it becomes a grind, and I don't feel like a shorter game is fine. That's fine. It doesn't have to be 10 hours. It can be 8 if they're 8 good hours that I'll go through a second time. Yeah, some of these games they're good. They're good games, but they're just not. They kind of outlive their welcome.
So is this about your topic, or is this something else you had in mind?
No, for next week.
Oh, what are you talking about? I think say games you'll mention later on. I thought you meant like your topic you want to talk about tonight.
Oh, no. I mean, for next week, I'll talk about Doki Doki. Doki Doki has a problem. It crashes a lot. So
oh, really?
Yeah, so that's a bit of a thing. So it's like even now I play it for a few. Sometimes you can play for hours and you're fine. Sometimes you play for a few minutes and it crashes. Then you put it back on, and it crashes again right away. So on the PlayStation 3, Doki Doki seems to be having some trouble functioning.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and on top of the fact that the game would be perfect if I had like a 4-year-old who I could play it with. It's a really cute game, and no one shoots anybody, and I like that a lot. But for the crashing stuff, that gets hard to deal with. But no, that was my topic. The other thing I wanted to talk about, thank you for that.
Sure.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. So, just given, the talk right now is with the new Spider-Man movie that they're gonna, all the video game, all the comic book heroes are owned by separate people, like we were talking about the other week, right? Like,
yeah.
Fox owns the X-Men, and Warner Brother has all the DC characters, and Sony has Spider-Man. And so Sony with Spider-Man, they can't expand that universe into the Marvel characters because they're owned by Disney, and so they instead are going to just expand the universe by making movies based on Spider-Man's villains, right? And so there'll be a Sinister Six movie, I guess, based on a lot of the characters we'll see in the next Spider-Man movie.
Seriously? Like they'll be the leads of those movies?
Yeah, they'll be the leads of those movies. So they'll start making movies based on Spider-Man's enemies.
That's horrible.
Because you don't have access to the other characters. We can't do X-Men. We can't do Iron Man or the Avengers. The Avengers are owned by who owns the Avengers?
It's Marvel, right?
Is that Marvel? That's Marvel, yeah. So DC and I'm sorry, so Disney and all them own. Marvel owns. Well, Marvel owns all of these, but Disney owns the Avengers. Fox owns the X-Men, and which is why you're going to see different Quicksilvers in both of those. If you watch the end of Captain America, you see Quicksilver show up.
Yeah.
And then if you watch the previews for the next X-Men movie, the other Quicksilver is there.
This is Magneto's son, apparently. I did not know this.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember Magneto's son in the Avengers movie, but who knows? Point is that I got thinking about, okay, if you're going to have a movie about villains, what would be a fun game to play about villains, right? If you're going to play a video game as a villain, would be a fun villain to give his own game. And they've done that some already, right? You have Warrior has his own game, and those are fun. And
Yeah, Alucard, or I guess not. He's not really a bad guy. He's Dracula's son from Castlevania, but.
No, but Dracula, Lord of Shadows 2 has you playing as Dracula.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And since though you're basically just playing as Kratos, but essentially you're supposed to be Dracula. So where is this guy? Oh, there it is. Damn it! Something got me behind. So I got to think about what would be some fun villains to play as in video games. And
Okay.
I was gonna pose you that question of what would be if you're gonna play some as evil characters, would be evil characters to have their own game.
It's a hard question to ask because villains are usually like just one or just totally flat, no depth, and just horrible. And like it's hard to come up with like creative villains to play as.
My obvious choice was one that came right away to me. I think it'd be cool. I would totally play a game where you played as villains from the Arkham Asylum. So if you had, I thought Joker first. Then I was like, well, you could do Mr. Freeze. You could do, Joker Refined. They did Catwoman before, but you could do a game just as the Arkham villains, and have the different levels for each of them, or have different or cooperative mode, something like that. But any of them.
Well, see, my argument there is I feel like they're kind of doing that, right? Every Batman game has like another part. You play as another villain as a DLC thing. Like you could play in the last Arkham game, you play as a Joker for a little bit.
You do, yeah, for his creation story, kind of. But you've never done Mr. Freeze.
You've not. Has that DLC even come out yet?
I don't know. I think I saw a preview for the thing or something like that. There's energy source out here.
Yeah. I'm using one.
Yeah, so, I think you could almost do, it'd be really cool to do a game where, or maybe just a long portion of an Arkham Asylum
Holy
game.
crap.
The characters didn't know where Batman was, or they were competing with each other and you had to play as them against each other.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, I could easily see that. It'd be a good way to kind of expand the Batman line a little bit further. I mean, Rocksteady said they're dropping it after this, but it's a really rich game, and I hate to see it go away. I would like it if they had creative ways to keep it going.
Yeah, I don't think it's going that far. I'm sure that someone else will pick up the gameplay.
Well, they tried it the last one. It wasn't that good.
Yeah, but people still bought it.
Yeah, I played it. It was great. I enjoyed it, but it was not Rocksteady's game.
No, it was not. It wasn't like it felt like DLC.
A little incident here. We're okay.
Okay, you're okay?
Yeah, dropped a computer.
Oh, sorry.
Anyways.
So that was my first one. That was probably my best one. I was thinking Joker. And
You started with your best one?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
I'm going to save my best one for the last one. All right, let me start with one of mine. A villain that came in kind of lately from a recent game. He dies too early in the game, but his world is a lot of fun. I think he'd be a lot of fun to play in the world. That's Vaz from Far Cry 3.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I think he was a creative character to play. He had a just great sense of personality, and I wish we got more time with him. And I wouldn't mind a DLC where you see him take over the island, or have some fun with that, and just kind of break down civilization there. He's like the Joker of Far Cry.
Yeah, he does some evil stuff, but yeah, he's fun. He's got all the skills you have in the game.
Yeah,
you can play as him and just take over the island. Be a really easy DLC to make.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, and I'll go ahead and give you another one too while I'm taking the lead here. Another one I had on my list is it's an easy one, and maybe it's already happened. I've not paid attention really well to the Resident Evil series in a long time, but Wesker is just ultra powerful and ubiquitous. Just shows up wherever he needs to be. Just omnipresent. It seems like I don't know. Maybe fun to see what he actually can and cannot do, and play as him for a bit.
Play as him, yeah. That would be an interesting game. I'm not sure what his skills would be or what you'd have him do. Plus, I hate the dialogue that he has. Whenever he shows up, it's like, oh god, he's gonna start talking.
Well, that'd be like a drinking game type game at that point. Like, just play it and get drunk, and it's just a weird game. It's like you just have to pretend like it's not translating very well as you play it the entire time.
Would it be funny if, like, maybe he only acts that way around the heroes? Like, the rest of the time, he's like, oh, shoot. He's like, he can't get his crap together. Then finally, when the heroes show up, he puts his sunglasses on real fast and starts acting tough. But it's just a facade he can hold for maybe a few minutes, and then he goes back to just stumbling around like Chevy Chase in a movie.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
They should make an independent game about that guy, just to have fun with that. That'd be a fun little story.
Well, I was thinking of a Resident Evil also. I thought just the chainsaw guy from the village. I thought that would be alright. Just in a village, a bunch of zombies, you got a bag on your head and a chainsaw. You gotta just fight your way out of there.
I think it'd be fun to like be leading the zombie uprising and be that guy. Be the guy that when villagers see you, they run away. Like everybody else, they try to attack. When they see you, they lose their minds around you. That'd be a fun little experience.
Well, it could be a short little game too. But I think people would like having just a chainsaw versus zombies is always fun.
Yeah.
And you could have some fun with that if you were you playing that character and having to go against all the zombies that showed up.
Yeah, I like that.
I think it'd be a fun game. It'd be a fun downloadable title anyway.
All right, what else you got?
Well, the one I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I was thinking a little bit that I really liked Psycho Mantis when he showed up in Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm not sure how you'd play that game, and it'd be difficult, and I'd be worried to wind up like Remember Me or something like that, where it's just kind of like the concept kind of overwhelms the gameplay. It's not quite as cool as it ought to be, given what they're trying to do. Or Psychonauts, really. Would it be like that, where you're kind of going to people's heads or something? But I don't know. He was a really cool character, and he was in Metal Gear Solid very briefly, but made this huge impact. So I feel like there's something you could do to develop that.
Yeah, there's a character you want to see more of, and there are ways you could expand it to be interesting. His backstory, perhaps where he got there, whatever he was doing before, whatever experiments he was under, or something like that. It'd be interesting to see what happened to him.
Yeah, man, that's what I was thinking too. Maybe you can build a longer game around that, going through all his backstory and everything.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's a thought.
Not really villains, but characters I like to see more of, and I just kind of want to see what their world is like. The Lucerne twins from BioShock Infinite.
Oh, okay, yeah, they were fun.
Just to see in the fourth dimension and across time and space, and to have the end of the game was so fascinating when it started to try to represent that visually, and just to see that the entire time, to see their experience and how they see the world. Maybe kind of dry because there's no risk. I mean, you can't die. It's going to happen a certain way or something. There's an inevitability to what you're doing, but it could be fun to see more of those two, and it could be a good co-op experience or something like that. It could be an interesting way to expand the game.
Yeah, it's weird how I feel like BioShock Infinite just got kind of let go after it came out.
It did.
Last of Us came out the same year, right?
Yeah.
It made such an impact, but BioShock Infinite was like, as soon as it was out, it was kind of like just forgotten about.
Yeah. That's a weird. You're right. It's weird, and it's a great game.
It's great. It's totally worth a playthrough. It's something I'd recommend you can spend money on. You won't regret it. It's a really good game.
Yeah. No, you're right. It just totally disappeared.
Well, I think Last of Us was just the better game.
Yeah.
Shame
All right.
both those games came out that year.
Yeah, it's a big year.
Yeah.
I have one more. What about you?
Oh, okay. No, that's it for me. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think the obvious one. I'm surprised you didn't say it, and it's an example we keep going back to. But the G-Man from.
Oh no, I did have him down. You're right. Yeah, I had him down on my list. Yeah, I put him down as a joke though, because I was like, what kind of game would this be? You would be like just walking around and leaving.
Well, it could be like an adventure game, I guess. Or again, it's kind of like Lucerne Twins. He can just be anywhere he wants to be, and he's using people like chess pieces and setting them up the way he wants to set them up. And I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you can go with that. And he's a fascinating character, and I think Valve left him relatively empty because they didn't have anything to say. And I think the mystery is better than the reality possibly could be. And they kind of left it like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't actually want to know these things. I don't think. I think that. Yeah, the more you know about G-Man, probably the less interesting he becomes. Yeah,
that's probably. But it's kind of like you could do like the what's the spinoff from X-Files? Those guys.
Oh, the Lone Gunman.
Yeah, it could be like that in some regard, or just I don't know. You could go some way with that.
Yeah, well, I think there'd be things to do. I would just anything that gets back into the Half-Life would be wonderful. So.
Yeah.
Can't complain about it, but yeah, I had the same thought. I wrote down as the Gray Man. I guess the G-Man is the way is his actual name.
Indeed.
But then I remember that as a joke because I was like, what kind of game would this be? You would just be like in the background. It's like, okay, let Gordon Freeman see you, then slowly walk away. It's like, too fast.
I love it.
I was reading about some other things people had mentioned in other blogs and stuff about games that players characters I have to play as. Bowser kept coming up over and over again.
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, I mean, why would you really want to be him? I don't really see much fun in that. One, I thought that, not to keep adding on the list, but the reason what I was thinking about was, Spider-Man's comic book, people are talking about right now, because it's a really interesting plot line where Dr. Octopus is taking over Spider-Man. And I was thinking Dr. Octopus would be kind of a fun character to play as. He'd be sort of like the Darkness with the tentacles and everything.
Yeah.
You could almost make that, oh crap, I got snuck up on.
There's a lot of guys here.
Yeah, there's suddenly a lot of guys here. I could see that being a really fun first-person, shooter, even, with the arms as options for you.
Why not like Lex Luthor then at that point?
Well, because, what kind of powers does he have, right? What is he going to do?
He's like Batman, and he's just Bruce Wayne, right? Just a ton of money.
Yeah, he's just a rich guy. Yeah, I thought about Lex Luthor too. And I thought about what about every Superman villain? And the only one who would be fun to play as
Bizarro.
is Zod. Yeah.
Oh, not Bizarro?
No. What would you do with Bizarro?
Just be silly and weird the entire time?
Yeah, it's just goofy as hell. Yeah, maybe you could do a Jor-El, Zod kind of thing. That'd be okay, but I don't think people are all that interested. We should do a list sometime of like heroes who do not need their own video game films. Talk about like Swamp Thing and stuff. Like that. No.
Something would be great, man. What's your deal?
Yeah. You give a beat 'em up brawler. Swamp Thing would be one of the characters you could play as.
How'd we lose this base, by the way? Like, we had this thing empty.
Yeah, they came in and just restocked, apparently.
They did, yeah. They got mad at us and just took their village back.
Yeah, they really did. I gotta admire their intensity about it. They just wanted it more.
We're gonna take it back over again. Yeah, that was a hard topic, though. I really couldn't come up with any great examples. It's just there aren't many compelling villains to play.
Well, yeah, and that's the issue, I guess. That there's not really a whole lot. We don't do a good job developing really interesting villains that aren't already developed. Probably the most interesting villain right now is the Joker, but that's just because he's an extension of Batman.
Yeah, well, and it's also, like you said, he's already developed. He's a known franchise, a known entity to people, so
yeah,
you know where he stands. But
GLaDOS is interesting, but she doesn't really have. There's no way to play as her or anything.
No, Wheatley's more interesting.
Who's that?
Wheatley's more interesting.
Yeah, well, I don't know about more, but he's also interesting. And,
well, he does stuff. GLaDOS has been in a room the entire life, right?
Yeah, that's true. She's got the funnier lines.
She does.
I think these guns everywhere.
Yeah, they should really pick them up and get them out of here. They're gonna, no, they're gonna visitors.
You would think it's like, okay, we should probably secure the guns. Like, no, put more guns out. We win? I think we won.
That was easy. Here comes a ship. Every time we just run in, destroy a lot of things, and the ship pulls us out.
It really is. It's kind of like, here, go blow this stuff up.
That's our life now.
Really, yeah. Can we just kill this from space?
No. Send us in. I mean, they really want us to die, I think.
Yeah, just send you two. Just you guys.
You'll get the guns along the way. Don't worry about them.
There, you'll be fine.
All right, on that note, we'll wrap up for today.